Hello, hello. Can the world hear me? Can you all hear my voice? I had to adjust my microphone because things were going crazy. Am I too loud? Too quiet? It feels like it's really dark, even though I've got my light on. If I turn away from the window, it'll brighten up a little bit. Okay, sweet. Also, you got to day 11 on Play Up. That is wild to me. Let me make sure I'm thinking of the same game. Because Ari and I play a lot of food games together. Because that is just kind of what we do. No, that's the game I'm thinking of. You got to day 11? Wild. Ari and I think the farthest that we made is day like 5, something like that. That is crazy. And that's us playing together and being like, Ari and I completed all of Overcooked 2 together. Like all of Overcooked 2 plus some DLC. So like overtime? What's overtime? Overtime and Played Up? I don't know what that is. What is overtime and Played Up? We've just been playing like the normal, regular game, I think. Are there different versions? I don't understand. All I know is that game is hard. So there's 15 days of the game, and after that it's overtime. No, we only got to like day 5 or day 7 of like the normal game. We haven't become a franchise yet. We have not gotten that far. We keep opening dumpling shops and just not succeeding. Which is wild. I think part of it is because what device are you playing on? Did you say you're playing on your phone? Hello, mother.
I need to know what game you're talking about. Dumpling shop?
We're talking about Played Up. The Played Up. It's
I know what Played Up is.
Oh, you play on PC. We play on Xbox. I wonder if there's crossplay. Let me look it up. Because it's on Game Pass on Xbox, which is why we're able to play it. Is Played Up crossplay? Played Up does not currently support crossplay. Dang. I need you to explain your technique, Ronald, because Ari and I we've been trying.
Okay.
We've been trying and not really succeeding.
Right before you start.
Yes.
I need you to turn the music down for a second.
Yes. Turning the music down.
Okay. Now,
I'm serious mode.
Know if my new best friend here is going to distract you.
Okay, pull your mic down.
Okay. Now, right now, this is how it sounds off. Now it's on. Is it too loud?
I wouldn't even have known it was on if you hadn't said something. Does anybody in the chat hear the fan on her microphone? Yep,
okay, good.
Ronald says he doesn't hear anything either.
Now I have to turn it up loud to turn it off, so it'll go.
Oh, there I kind of hear it a little bit.
But I only put it there right before I turn it off, so that would only be a second. Because unfortunately, it doesn't have a function where you can just like press it and turn it directly off. I have to go from low, medium, high off.
Mm-hmm.
But so it's not bothering you?
Nope. I couldn't even hear it.
This is my new best friend. Feels so much better. Okay.
Is it better than having the little AC unit behind you?
Oh, I still have that going, but like that helps for the general heat that everybody's feeling because it's about to be 93 degrees today.
Oh, does that help with your woman of a certain time?
When I get my old lady heat, I can just turn this on right quick because usually that's just from like my neck up. I start to feel extra uncomfortable. And so I can turn that on, and then when I start to feel comfortable, then I can turn it back off, and then I'm good.
Awesome.
So
I'm glad you have a van.
Yes, hubby found this. I just don't like it. I don't like it sitting on my neck too long, so I take it off if I'm not using it. But yeah, hubby found this. Lost and found.
Yep.
At work. He has a different one that I tried that has like little fans right in here, but my hair would get caught because it's little open fans right there.
Oh, it didn't have like a cover over it?
I mean, a little bit of a cage, but you know how those old-fashioned fans have just like a cage over them? Yeah, this just had a little cage over it, and my hair would get stuck in the thing when it was turning. So
that sounds unpleasant.
Plus, that the air was just coming out of these sections, and so it would kind of help a little bit, but like the back of my neck gets hot too. Whereas this one, the air is coming all
the whole
out
thing.
of here.
Okay.
So it helps. It's not coming out of this section here. It's coming out. It
helps the whole situation.
So it helps all the back of my neck. And it blows up because it sits here. It also blows some up in my face a little bit.
Nice. I need to get one of those for Wayne for when we have markets outside in 90
I don't know
weather.
what brand that is or whatever, because like I said, it was
no
from
labels.
Lost and Found. And the charge on it lasts pretty long. I just charge it with the USB. I don't know if that's USB-C or whatever it is, but
probably USB-C.
We
need to figure out what brand that is so I can get one for Wayne.
It's glorious, I tell you.
All right.
Okay, so are we ready to start now that I've got the sweat off my face?
Yes, I'm taking off the pre-show ramble tags, put up the coffee Klatsch, and we are going live on Instagram. And wait, let me get to the right music. Took you to level 6 to get today's vandal. Oh my goodness! Now I'm wondering what it is. Okay, put on the correct stream music, and something is still being weird on my, that's what's going on. Give me just a moment. I had Spotify open in the background. It wasn't playing, but it was open, and it was like using up computer space. Okay. Going live on Instagram in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Wednesday Coffee Klatsch. I am your presenter, Dani, the Distracted Dame, and this is my co-presenter,
Artemis, the Fatigued.
And if you've never been here before, welcome. We're glad to have you. If you don't know what we do, we are just a chatty show. We are here to be your audio ambiance, your background sound. We're here to keep you company while you watch your children, do your laundry, wash the dishes, and you, Penny. Now, I know you're trying to stick with the family, but you are 31 years old. You have got to stop listening to what they tell you. They are not leading you in the right direction. Okay? They led you to this man who left you at the altar.
How dare they?
And then the next day he was filmed in Vegas with women of ill repute in his lap.
Penny, come on now. You gotta know.
This is why you are in a house that your parents own, a car that your parents own, your parents' name on your bank account.
Come on, Penny.
This is what led you to sitting in the middle of your house, getting drunk, and deciding to cast a spell for the perfect man who will love you forever that you found in a Reddit forum.
We out here casting Reddit spells, Penny. That's the recipe for disaster.
No wonder this didn't work out. And instead, you got an incubus who thought that you were summoning somebody for a booty call.
Penny.
But we're here to keep you company while you get yourself out of this situation.
Was this a book or was this a web comic? Because that sounds similar to one of the web comics I was talking about.
I'm sorry, the cough is still here. It's been 2 weeks. I was trying to hold off.
You're good.
Till I got through the intro. But yes, that was today's book that I just finished, called Signed in Incubus by Maggie Mayhem.
Amazing.
I'll put the link down in the description later.
Was it good? Is it a recommendation or like?
Yeah.
Nah,
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There were 2 other ones that I almost used for the intro, but I'm like, I enjoyed them, but the writing wasn't really good, so I don't know if I'd recommend them. But I enjoyed them. I was entertained, but if I recommended it to somebody else, they'd go, "This writing is like on a middle school level." But I was entertained.
Huzzah.
I'm sorry,
Hunter in the Instagram chat. Not a freaky incubus.
He's a sweet incubus, but I'm not going to give away any more about the book just in case somebody wants to read it. But it is, for those who aren't going to come over to YouTube, it is again Signed in Incubus by Maggie Mayhem. It's on Kindle Unlimited. If you got Kindle Unlimited, it's included in your subscription. Because, that's where 95% of all my books come from these days. So, to start off, what are we eating and drinking?
I am not eating anything unless I get room service today, but I am drinking. Oh, where did I just had it. Oh, it's behind me. I got juice. I got V8 Splash Berry Blend. Drinking out of the jug as I do.
Well, I am having pasta salad that I made. I know, make a face. You don't like anything, but this is my first time making pasta salad, and I am very proud of myself.
Nice. Junie in the chat says that she does audiobooks. Do you know if the book has an audiobook?
I don't know, but I can look it up. It probably does. And I am drinking coffee with mushroom added.
Mushroom coffee?
Yes. Well, I mean, it's Cafe Bustelo with the mushroom. Oh,
you didn't mix the both of them.
Yeah, I mix them both now. And the French vanilla. We saved the oat milk for last because we don't know what that's going to do to my stomach. Oh, and also a banana. I stole a banana.
Not the stolen banana. So when we order groceries, I always put 6 bananas so that there's 2 bananas for each of us, and that will last us till we order groceries next week. But I didn't order any of the fruit because our refrigerator is kind of crowded now that we have 3 people here instead of 2. And I mean, your father lives here, but he never eats here, so almost none of his food is in the refrigerator. Yeah.
But I didn't buy any of the fruit, so I stole more than my fair share of bananas. I've already had 2 bananas this week. This is my 3rd one.
Shame.
I need the bananas for the leg cramps. I need the potassium to.
We've got Hunter in the Instagram chat asking what kind of mushrooms are in the mushroom coffee.
Oh goodness, sir. Sir.
This is not something she has readily on hand.
I do not know. I do not even know. Right now, my brain is even blanking on the brand that.
Even though you just made it.
I just made it. It comes in a foil package. It's called like Everyday Dose or something. I think it's the name of the coffee brand.
Let me look it up.
If Sydney was in the chat, she would know because she's the one who buys it for me.
Everyday dose mushroom coffee.
But
let's see, it's like a silver package, and the S in the dose is like a lightning bolt.
Yep.
Okay. Let me see what kind of coffee. I will look that up. In the meantime, why don't you move us along?
Okay. Well, I don't even have Google Keep open.
Unprepared.
I know, unprepared. Well, I was, I had to make sure that painting was going to be all right before we started this today. I couldn't help myself.
Let's see. Hunter says, mushrooms are his special interest. They often put chaga and lion's mane in coffee packets, and those are really good fungi.
I so don't know. All I know is it supposedly helps my brain function and my energy, according to your sister. And so I humor her and I drink it because it's tasty.
He was 100% right. Lion's mane and chaga. I finally got to the page. And then they've got some collagen, some L-theanine, but that's not mushrooms.
Ronald said he saw the cutest shop yesterday and thought of me because it was a all romance bookstore. There's only a few of those in the country.
Only a few all romance bookstores in the country?
Yeah. Well, I think more of them are popping up. There was like one in California called the Ripped Bodice, which was like the first one, but I think there are like more popping up now. So,
it seems like it'd be a popular kind of. I guess it depends on your location.
Yeah. Yeah. But like the romance girlies, they want to own their books, which is amazing. Also, like, I have no desire to own books.
Also, owning a bookstore, isn't that like a romance novel plot line?
Yeah, it's a trope.
It would make sense if those are popping up.
Yeah, it's a trope. Let's see.
Okay, so I brought up the thing. So, do we want to start with life updates, and then I'll go into the market stuff, and then we'll go into.
Do we have life updates?
I
mean, we can do life updates quick. There's not a whole lot. I don't have a whole lot of anything to show, but
before that,
I still have this call. It's been 2 weeks. I still have this call.
Before that, Hunter's TED Talk. There are some studies that have shown that lion's mane helps with memory loss and brain function and mental clarity, whereas chaga is for energy. Thanks for coming to his TED Talk.
Well, like on days like today, when I wake up earlier, I put the mushroom in my coffee. On other days, I don't normally do the mushroom in my coffee. And I feel like I can tell a little difference, not highly noticeable, but a little difference when I add the mushroom.
Maybe you need straight mushroom coffee. Don't cut it with the regular stuff. All mushrooms.
Whatever. And Signed in Incubus is not available in audiobook. It's in.
Oh, bummer.
Because it's an indie author, and a lot of times the indie authors on Amazon are like Kindle only. A lot of times they don't even have hardcovers. So they're usually like Kindle only. At least I don't see another format for this book. But yeah, I like Maggie Mayhem. It's a little bit steamy, people.
That's
wait a minute. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong, because some of her other books in the series have an audiobook. Let me look again.
While she is looking that up, for life updates, she still has a cough, and my life update is that her internet will soon be getting better because my sister is coming to move in with me.
Wait a minute. How am I hearing it from you and not from her?
I was hoping this is what was going to happen. That's hilarious.
So rude.
She didn't feel the need to tell you, I guess.
So rude.
Yeah, I called her on Sunday. because I was like, let me know when you have a chance to talk. And I called her on Sunday, and I explained basically the whole situation of our roommate is moving out, and we don't have a lot of time to figure out, like, to find another person to move in. Plus, like, so many people moving in. I don't want a stranger to move in that we don't know, and blah, blah, blah. And so I was like, I know you, like, just moved into the house with our parents, but how would you feel about coming back to Asheville? And she's like, how much is the rent? And so I, like, explained, like, all the numbers and everything. Explained to her if she wanted, Wayne could get her a job at Chipotle. Otherwise, she could try to transfer with Amazon. And everything. And, like, she was, it seemed like one of her biggest concerns was just, would her stuff fit in the room? And I basically said, like, because this is, so Wayne and I have the biggest bedroom. This is the second biggest bedroom. And then our roommate has the third biggest bedroom. And I explained to her, I was like, if your stuff does not fit in that room, then you can have this room and I'll move all of my office stuff into the other room. Because this is an office. I don't need to, like, live in here. So if she needs more space, she can have this space and I can squeeze all of my stuff into the other room. And then she can have this one. So she said yes. So we are going to figure that out.
So she's just trying to get away from me already. All of my children trying to leave me. At least I still have Isaac.
No, she is helping out her sister, her sibling.
Yeah, but like I was saying to your brother the other day, if she moves in with you, that's probably going to be more of a forever situation, or at least more of a long-term situation, because Sydney, I knew as soon as she found a partner or whatever, that they would want to have their own place.
Mm-hmm.
And, so I thought Chloe was going to end up finding herself a roommate first, because she briefly talked about moving in with her old college roommate. But I knew as soon as Sydney, was ready to set up house, Chloe would be coming back home. But you and Wayne have always had roommates. You and Wayne have been together forever. So it's not like new love. You want to have your own place, have your privacy and all that other kind of stuff. Y'all have always had roommates. So this could turn into a long-term, years and years situation.
Possibly, who knows?
So you were just taking another one of my children away from me.
But aren't you so happy that your children are staying together and that we're spending time together and that we love each other?
Yes, I am glad that you are spending time together.
But also, you're the one who said that it might be good for her to be up here because she'll be closer to her alma mater, might be able to find a job within her degree. Yada yada.
I'm happy about it. I'm just saying, if she moves out this time, she's probably not coming back.
Probably. Now we have to talk to my father and convince him to help us move her once again.
So when is she moving?
That's what we're trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out the timeline on when our current roommate is moving out. It'll basically be a lot of stuff pretty close to right before the cruise, because that's when our lease is up. Is right around like 2 weeks before the cruise, I want to say. Something like that. So we need to figure out when they are moving out so that she can move in. So that
wait a minute, your lease is up right before the cruise?
Yeah, so we're going to renew the lease right before the cruise.
Oh, so you're going to stay in that spot. You're not moving to a different place.
Yes. Our lease is up right before the cruise. We're going to renew the lease. The roommate does not want to renew the lease. They're moving back home to Arkansas. I've joked so many times about the wrong state that they live in, and now sometimes I can't remember the correct one. But they are moving back, and so we need to get Chloe on the new lease, essentially.
So the other situation didn't work out with your roommate. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to put them on blast, but the other situation, the other reason why they wanted to move out didn't work out.
Yeah, we can talk about it later. It's a whole yeah. But long story short, they're going to leave at the end of this lease, and Chloe is going to move in at the end of this lease. And so we are just going to figure it out right before the cruise, which hopefully won't add any undue stress about the cruise. We'll see. But that is that.
That means you need to tell your father immediately, because he's already made all of his arrangements for who's going to cover what shifts and whatever for us to have that whole week off for the cruise. Mm-hmm. If he has to get off before the cruise to move Chloe back down there, or up there, I should say, then that's going to be another issue.
I will do that. Let's see. Hunter saying about to join a work meeting. Are Wayne and I going to be at Faye Nectar this weekend? Yes, we are. We are going to be at Faye Nectar this Saturday. I will not be there Friday, but I will be there Saturday. So hopefully I'll see you guys. Enjoy your work meeting. Speaking of markets, the only other thing that I had to talk about was the trip to Georgia this past Saturday. And I made a whole note thing for it so I didn't forget stuff that was going on. So we paid $35 to be there. So that's not bad. Not nearly as bad as some other markets. It was a 3.5 hour drive to get to Georgia. The weather, there was a high of about 95 while we were down there. Yeah, which like...
It was hot up here too.
Yeah, it was hot. Awesome. Well, I hope you guys have fun at Pirates Night. I'm trying to get into some of the Pirates Nights. It's just hard for me to swing a Friday a lot of times. But awesome. Well, have fun at your Pirates Night, and hopefully we'll see you Saturday. Yeah, high of 95. It was hot, and it was not just hot, but humid. It was so humid down there. And we got down there, and I was told that when we get down there, we need to go to the gate, give our number, which I was like number 14 or something, go to the gate, give our number, and the person will show us where our spot is. So I go down there I get down there, I park, I go over to the gate. There's like a pop-up tent, like a 10 by 10 pop-up tent in the table. No one's sitting at it. I'm walking around. There's no one like with a clipboard, no one official looking, like everybody's just like Faye people and stuff, which like obviously because it's Ferry Market, but like I couldn't find the person. And so I go and I'm like looking around, can't find anybody. So I walk to the first person who looks like they're not immediately busy carrying stuff. And I'm like, hey, I'm so sorry. Do you know where the person we're supposed to check in with is? And they're like, yeah, I think she went somewhere in there. And it's like in the woods. Like the market was in like overcovered trees, like in a little foresty area because we were in a garden center. So it was in a little foresty area. So I walk into the foresty area, can't find anybody. Can't find anybody by the description that the person's talking about. So I walk up to the next person that I see that doesn't look immediately busy. And I'm like, hey, I'm so sorry. Do you know the person we're supposed to check in with? And she's like, I don't know. I couldn't find her either. I just found my spot and started setting up. And so then a person beside her overhears us talking and she's like, oh, it's her right there. And so I walk over. I finally walk over and find her. And I'm like, hey, I'm so sorry. Can you help me find my spot? And I was about to say I'm number 14, and she's like, what's your name? What's your business name? And I'm like, my business name is Maya Mendy. And she's like, Maya Mendy. And she's like looking confused. And I'm like, face paint, henna, crochet. She's like, oh, Maya Sanders. And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, okay, you're over here. So she didn't go by my number, and she didn't go by my business name, which she asked for. She needed my name, which like, that whole thing was frustrating to me. Like, numbers. What's the purpose of the numbers? And then what was the purpose of asking for my business name on top of that? If that's not what you had in your little list or your clipboard. Anyway, so we go set up, and luckily we are like, everybody is under the tree. So no one is set up like in the sun. It's like everyone's under the trees. And we get set up, but because we're in the woods and under the trees and stuff, there's like bugs everywhere. Like Wayne and I start getting bit immediately. Luckily we had some other friends coming down to that market as well. Some of our friends from Faye Nectar also did that market, and they were coming down as well. And I knew for a fact that they were going to have bug spray because they always do. I realized after the fact, after we got home and like a full another day, I was looking for some oil in the car because our car has an oil leak. And so I was looking for some oil in the car and found a can of bug spray. We had bug spray in the car. It was just like under a seat, like rolled under a seat or something. So we had bug spray, but because they got there after us. And so we had to wait a hot minute for them to get there so that we could get some bug spray. But so we got the bug spray. It was okay. But while we were there, it rained twice. It rained on us twice, which was frustrating. Like, it didn't rain while we were setting up, but once we got set up and we got set up, and because I had I had a little bit of extra space to play with, and I usually do this as well. I sat my one of my tables is the table that I had at that market. My hats, my headbands, my bandanas on. I set that table basically in front, outside of my tent, to catch people's eyes, draw people in or whatever, and so I can have extra table space without taking up our space under the tent. But it started raining, so I immediately we had to rearrange and pull that under the tent. So, but my hats all got wet, my stuffies all got wet, everything, just because and we had a tent and we pulled everything back under the tent and everything, but it still stuff still got wet because the wind was blowing too, so all of my stuff still got wet, so we had to let that dry. Let's see. So I feel like I maybe read this previously and then forgot, but it wasn't the kind of event where Fae Nectar, where people can just show up and walk around. It was people were having to pay for tickets to get into the event, to get in, because they also had performances and stuff going on. And so people had to pay, and the color of the wristband showed which performances they were allowed at, or yada yada. And so we started getting a little wary, because normally at events, or previously for me at least, at events that people have to pay to get into, they don't necessarily always spend more money. It's either an event where you pay to get into, people expect that, and they are coming with money. They're people with money, and so they're of course you pay to get into events, and go with money. Or it's I'm going to pay my $10 to get into this event, and then I'm just going to walk around and look at all the pretty stuff. Yeah. The next thing, I haven't said how much I made yet. I'm going to get through all of this and then say how much I made. The next thing is, so I had expressed this, I think, last week, but I found out kind of at the last minute that there were going to be at least 3 other crochet artists and another henna artist at this market. So I set up my table. I'm right here. There's one table right here that's a leather worker, and then the table directly next to him is a crochet artist. And then 2 tables down is the other crochet artist. And then a table across and 2 tables back towards them in my direction is another face paint artist. And then there's one person beside me, and then there's the walkway to get into the wooded area or whatever. So there's the one person beside me, and then directly diagonal, the next booth into the wooded area is the other henna artist. So they had us all on top of each other, which was so frustrating. I could visibly eyeball see basically everybody except for 2 of the crochet artists who were way at the back in the woods. That's what I'm saying, Junie. Exactly. It is a terrible setup. If we know we had this many people, then you gotta spread them out more. First of all, no event that small needs more than 1 head artist or more than 1 face paint artist. And if those, this is what I was saying to Wayne, if those people, because she's going to put it on again, if those people want to do this event again, then they can go ahead and have it, because they're already in Georgia. They don't have to drive 3.5 hours to get there. So if they want that event, then they can go ahead and have it. If they decide that they don't want that event, I might try it again if I'm the only one doing it. Crochet, I can kind of understand, because all of the crochet artists had mostly different stuff. There were a lot of bumblebees. There were, I think a couple of the people had chickens. Hey, Uncle. We got your brother in the Instagram chat. But stuff like henna and face paint, you don't need more than 1 person doing that kind of stuff, in my opinion. But there was just a lot of overlap in general. Several jewelry vendors, which tends to happen. It's just you really need to, I feel especially for an event that people are going to pay to get into, it needs to be a juried event of the people putting on the event. Look at all of the applicants and say, okay, you applied first, you get in, your stuff is too similar to person A, so I'm so sorry you can't come to this event. You like do it that way. Because there were several jewelry vendors, there were several, there was at least 2 or 3 people making tumblers, I want to say. And then the other thing that frustrated me, and it may just be because I don't do like flea markets, I don't do anything like that. I do like farmers markets where everybody is like, farmers markets and craft markets where everybody is like growing and making their own stuff. So there were several drop shippers at the market selling stuff.
There was a lot of that when I went to Hippie Fest years ago. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of people that it was clear that was like store-bought stuff. That wasn't stuff you made at your house. Yeah. And I thought, I was mistakenly thought that these kind of festivals were people who made their own stuff. It feels like the bigger the festival gets, the more you're going to have people that are selling stuff that they didn't make. And it's like, and I want to make the distinction because there are some people that like an artist, if you draw a picture and then you go to a manufacturer to get that picture that you created put on magnets, shirts and stuff, that is one thing. Because if that is what you're doing, then I don't consider that drop shipping. You created the art and you were getting that art put on things, but you are selling your art. But this is like, I saw people that like had like, it seemed like either AI generated pictures or pictures that they like found a picture because the pictures had no like cohesion of like a similar art style of one person created it. So like they just found some pictures, put them on some stuff and sold them like to sell that. And then I found a crown that, because there was someone selling like crowns and tiaras. And I bought one because it was a reasonable price. And the reason that I know it's a reasonable price was because you remember the tiara that I got for Christmas like 1 or 2 years ago? Yeah. The one that I want to say Chloe got me. I can't remember exactly who got that one. But that was a sweet pea crown. I had that specifically in my Amazon wish list because that was a sweet pea crown. I like have seen a lot of other people recommend the sweet pea crowns. This person, either the styles that they were looking at, because I looked at a lot of sweet pea crowns before I put the one that I wanted in my Amazon wish list, and the spread that they had sitting up on their things, very clearly sweet pea crowns. And I'm wondering now where they were getting them from because they're selling them at the exact same price that they're being sold on Amazon. So like if you bought them from Amazon, you would jack the price up. So where are you getting it from that you're able to sell it at the Amazon price? Some sort of like semi-wholesaler like Alibaba or something. Yeah. Temu. But so I did get another crown because it was a decent price. It was $20. So I got myself a cute little, and this one I'll be able to wear. It sits. I took a picture. Let me pull up a picture. I took a picture of my face that day. But I got one that I could wear on top of my head because the one that I have, I love it. I really do. But I can't wear it for long markets. So because the one that I got sits right on my forehead and I can wear it basically for the length of like the Faye Nectar market, but any longer, like I put it on in the morning when we left at like 6:30 in the morning and then didn't really take it off until the market ended at 7 p.m. And so I was wearing it all day and it gives me a bruise on my forehead. Like it hurts. It's not a heavy crown, but wearing it that long gives me a bruise on my forehead. So I had to take it off. A bruise on your forehead. Yes. But let me pull up this picture. Do this, do that, do this, and then do that. There we go. But it's let's see, can I zoom and then move? There we go. Lovely. But it's a nice little, yeah. So, but that's one that I think I'll be able to wear, like when I have my hair out in an afro, I'll be able to wear it on top, and I don't necessarily have to have my hair kind of flat down, because the one that I have right now, I have to have my hair kind of flat down to be able to. And so, if you wear it like that, it's not as uncomfortable, or it's still uncomfortable. No, because it's sitting on top of my head as opposed to like pressing. Yeah. Sitting up here is not bad at all. Because that's just like wearing a headband. It's not like neither of the crowns are very heavy, but it's just the pressure of it like slightly pushing on my forehead because of how it has to sit so that it stays in place. Anyway, and
Another thing that I saw was that two of the like 3 or 4 crochet artists, or I think 4 crochet artists besides me, 2 of the 4 crochet artists had a claw machine, which I didn't realize that all of the crochet girlies were getting claw. Yes, it's a little like this big claw machine, and they were making like tiny little, like one person they were all frogs in her claw machine. She had like little frogs. They were like this big. And then the other person
okay, I want to make sure I understand. A claw machine, like at the arcade where you put your quarter in and it goes ju 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 ju.
Yes. Yeah. They had little claw machines, and they were selling like, it was like $6 to do the claw machine, and then I don't know what the other girl was doing, but the one girl that was like basically directly across from me, she had her claw machine, and it was like there was like a no fail clause. Like you pay the $6, you get to play with the claw machine, and then if you don't get your thing, she'll open up the top and grab the toy for you. She said, and I went and asked her, I was like, how do you handle like when someone doesn't win the claw machine stuff? And she's like, oh, I just like, they spent $6, that's the cost of the toy anyway, so I just let them take the toy. Because she was tired of, like, she couldn't stand to see like kids walking away crying because they didn't make it in the claw machine. And so I thought about getting one, because I realized after that, I went back to work, we sell that same claw machine. At my job for $41, which means with my discount, I'd be able to get it for like $28.
You get a good discount.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about it, but I don't know, because I don't know, because there was like, so part of the reason that stopped me from wanting to get that is one,
table.
Oh, is Spectrum coming for me? Is Spectrum coming for you? What'd you say?
That doesn't seem like your vibe.
Yeah, that. One, it doesn't seem like my vibe. And 2, I watched a child have a full meltdown at that claw machine. And which is ridiculous, because I didn't know until after the fact when I talked to her that she had a no fail clause. So essentially what happened was there was this little girl who, let's see. There was this little girl who went up to the claw machine. It was like a family, and there was a little girl and there was an older girl. And basically what the problem was the little girl just wanted to keep playing with the claw machine like it was a toy. Like it didn't even matter that she wasn't getting things. She just wanted to keep being able to play with it. And everybody's like, okay, no, it's your turn, it's over. And you know when you hear a child cry, and it's not like oh, I'm upset and I have too many feelings kind of cry. It's I know that all I have to do is make a loud noise and I'm going to get what I want kind of cry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cause it wasn't even like she was working up to getting upset of like and like start crying. It was like, oh, it's my turn. I want to take my turn. The parents are like, no, we got to go. Like immediate scream. Immediate scream. It was like, I'm like, this is,
I'm thinking like one of those kids in
Dani 911?
No, Charlie in the Chocolate Factory.
Oh,
yeah, I'm going way back.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. I'm thinking Nanny 911 because I looked to Wayne and I was like, this is a Nanny 911 situation, because that child clearly knows that she's going to get whatever she wants. Like, and I'm like, and she...
What's the girl in the character? Something Violet or something? And she just like Violet. She just stops her foot. I want what I want.
I want it now. Yes, I know exactly what you're thinking of. I can't think of the character. Because Violet was a different kind of character. There was another girl character who was the rich, like spoiled girl character. But yeah, it was basically exactly like that. It kept going and going because the crochet lady was so like polite, and she's like, no, it's okay, you can have a turn, it's okay, and was like trying to kind of like appease the girl. But I'm like, at that point, I'm over here like, these parents need to get this child out of here. Like, don't let this poor lady use up the batteries in her little machine because you won't take your child away. Like, you need to leave. And she was like screaming as they were leaving, and she was like, I want the thing, I want blah, blah, blah. And then the dad came back and still bought something for her and went back out. Like, came back and bought something and went back out and brought her another little toy.
You should buy something. Well, no,
at that point,
at the point as I'm the shop owner, the table lady, my only thought is, not this child learning a lesson, but you've given me a hard time. I need
You
to
should
get some
buy something.
recompense. You need to buy something.
Thank you,
Veruca
Ronald.
salt.
Veruca
Thank you,
salt.
Ronald.
Veruca salt. But you have to pay. It says on the top of her little machine, you have to pay $6 to use the machine. So they paid $6 to use the machine. I think they bought one other thing for the older little girl, and then the little girl was still like screaming as they were walking away, because it's like we were set up, like I was set up under my tent beside the pavilion, and then there's the pavilion where the other crochet artist was, and then there's like the garden area where there are like seats and everything. And so they were walking out to go sit in the little seated area, but like it's not that far away, like you can still see, which means we could still hear her screaming, and she was screaming. So the dad went back and bought another little toy to give to the little girl so that she would stop screaming. And I'm like, this is why she's screaming in the first place. Y'all need to go somewhere. Y'all need to go.
Yeah, on that, as a parent, I'm like, yeah, you have spoiled that child. That child does not deserve another toy. But as the vendor,
the person selling,
I'm like, go ahead, buy something else. Because
absolutely.
I mean, I know you already spent the $6 and you bought the older child something, but I could use a little more money for all that screaming I just put up with.
And using up the batteries in the little machine, like, come on.
So just
anyway,
go ahead and give me more money.
So that child was like all over the market, and we could see her, and we like she was just chaos. Anyway,
see, that's the kind of child that made me think that I did not want children. And people, if you know me long enough, you will hear me say more than once, I don't like children.
She doesn't.
I like my children.
Because we're amazing.
And I liked my children, but I tell you, the day, and you probably heard me say this before, but the day that my youngest child was able to get himself ready for school and go outside and go to that bus, and I did not have to get up, I practically cried and thanked God. These children do not need me to be wiping their noses and their butts anymore. I like children. 10 is like the youngest, honestly. I like them when they're old enough to hold a reasonable conversation. To have interest in things that I can at least semi be interested in, like a video game. Little children, I have and like this whole baby fever, wanting to hold a cute little baby and smell their heads and all that. Stop it. Take that away. That's just a lot of work.
Babies are gross. Babies and children are gross.
Babies are a lot of work. I was just thinking about that the other day. I already know I am not going to be a grandmother, which is sad for your father, because your father likes children. Not just his children. He likes children in general, which is why I gave him some. But I do not like children.
I wish he liked dogs. I could give him dogs. We have plenty of dogs.
He kind of likes dogs, but I don't think he wants dogs in the house. I don't think he wants us to own dogs. But he seems to enjoy the dogs when he visits them at other people's houses.
But wrapping this up, because I have talked far too long about this. The lady running the thing came to me after the fact. It was like, how'd it go? How are things going? And I was like, I was 100% honest, because I'm not even from here, so I may never come back here again. I was like, it felt like there were too many people with similar stuff, and all the people with similar stuff were like kind of piled on top of each other. So it like made competition like a lot harder than it seemed like it needed to be for the amount of people that showed up for this event. And she said, oh yeah, next time that we do this, 1, we're not doing it in June, so it's not gonna be as hot. 2, she's going to cut the number of vendors in half, which is a great idea. And she definitely needs to jury how many people.
Well, I mean, what else? If there's not vendors, what else did they have going on?
They had performances.
Oh, they had performances.
Yeah, they had performances. There's like a stage set up back behind where we were.
Like music, like bands and stuff, or
yeah. So they had people walking around, like performers walking around. Like there was a bubble fairy. There was a guy who was like a one-man band who had like a piano and a harmonica and a setup thing, and there was like a clown guy, and there were just like fairies walking around with like trinkets and stuff or whatever. And then there were performances, like there was a stage and there were like 4 performances, something like that, back behind us. So there was other stuff going on.
And they had food.
Yes, and they had food.
Like food trucks type things.
Yeah, they had a couple food trucks. I was so frustrated because they had a shaved ice food truck. So we got, or it was basically like Italian ice. So we got some Italian ice. And then there was another food truck, but it was like all like vegan stuff, which is not normally a problem, but I'm very picky. And so depending on the type of vegan stuff that they have. And so there wasn't anything that I could eat on that food truck. And then towards the end, they started selling turkey legs and baked potatoes. But by that point, we were like, we don't want to spend like festival money on stuff. We just want to go hit McDonald's on the way out. So the other thing was, while she was talking to us about what she was going to do next year, she said that, because I was voicing my concerns about how there were a lot of people with similar stuff, she said that there were several people who brought stuff that they weren't approved for. So like whenever you apply, you're supposed to say, this is all the stuff that I'm bringing. There were several people that brought extra stuff that they weren't approved for. And I didn't ask.
Probably but in my head, some of those drop ship people.
Probably. And I didn't ask, but in my head, I'm like, then you should have told them to pack it up.
Exactly.
Like you're the person that's organizing this stuff. You should have told them to pack it up so that they're not having this stuff that they're supposed to have. But so that was that. All in all, I'm surprised. I did still end up doing a couple henna tattoos, which is good. I did still end up doing like 2 face paints, which is good considering there were people also doing those things. In total, I made $250 is all that I made.
Which is not terrible, but considered you paid $35 and how much you spend in gas going down and back.
Let's see. We had to 60-ish in gas because we didn't leave with a full tank and we didn't fully fill it up before, so I'm doing like estimation math, but like 50-60-ish in gas.
So that takes you down to roughly 150, 160, and then that's not even counting, because I know that you're not doing the exact math on your materials that you spend on making these items and your hourly time or whatever. So, that's something you need to get on in the new year.
Yeah,
actually making an estimate. I mean, for most of your items, you need to just do it once, and then you'll know this is how much this is roughly how much it costs me in materials to make a bee and a this and a that. You know, I think the problem that I have is with a lot of the small stuff, because I don't what I need to do is get like a scale and weigh the skein of yarn and then crochet a thing and then weigh the skein of yarn again and figure out how much it is. I just don't have. I had a kitchen scale when I was doing candles. I don't know what happened to it. Like, I think it's still packed away, like way packed away somewhere, because I haven't done candles in who knows how long. And I know that we have the scale. I just don't know what happened to it. So that was that. But yeah, at least you made some money. It could have been worse. You could have,
I could have lost money when we really didn't need.
Lost money or gone down and only made $5, or like that one where I went with you, where pretty much you had a few sales and then spent that money buying from the other people. Everybody was buying from each other just because y'all were sitting there bored.
It was just so frustrating. It's so embarrassing because it's the first market that you had ever gone to with me, and I just.
Well, I know that you do well. So just because it didn't happen while I was there, that's fine.
Hello. We've got more family in Instagram. We got all the family in Instagram today.
What family? Who are you saying hello to now?
We've got let me see, based on everybody's got different usernames, so I don't know who anybody's usernames and pictures are. Hang on. I mean, they're saying family in the chat, so I'm assuming it's family unless it's like, friend family.
Like, hey fam.
Yeah. But they're not just saying fam, they're saying family. Unless Trey.
Hello, Trey. Hello, nephew.
Yeah, everybody changing their names and stuff, and I just cannot keep track of anybody's usernames.
Yeah, I know. Just like you guys
so
having 15 million different email addresses. I'm like, I've had the same email addresses since you were born.
Except I've had the same email address since 2011. Yeah, it also doesn't help that the pictures are very small because they're like on my TV, like all over there. He says, "Hey, Auntie, love you guys." So
Junie likes me
because you're likable. That's what I keep trying to tell you. Really. We're hilarious and amazing.
I am not hilarious or amazing, but whatever.
So I'm just going to breeze through the rest of the markets that I've got coming up. It's a lot. It's far too much, honestly, but I'm just going to make it happen. Today, I've got the Wednesday market in Weaverville. Friday, I've got a market in the morning at Lake Lure. Not Fay Nectar. It's a different market in Lake Lure. And then Friday evening, I've got First Friday. Saturday, I've got Fay Nectar. And Sunday, I've got the BIPOC market. So that is my week.
We're just getting to be known up in Lake Lure, huh?
That is, yeah. Somebody came over and got henna from me at Fay Nectar, and they're doing an event at another place over there, and they were hoping for a henna artist. So we're gonna see how that goes. That being said, I will not be able to play games Friday morning. I meant to tell you this like a week ago, and then
that's fine.
Just completely blank getting ready for Georgia. Ronald says, well, according to Dani, 2011 was a year ago.
It was a year ago.
Wild. Ridiculous. Okay. So
that's all of that. To be fair, in my mind, Maya was in college 5 years ago.
Wild. It's not the farmer's market in Lake Lure. It's at like a place, a thing. Hang on. While I'm pulling this up, the other place I'm going in Lake Lure, why don't you start with the crochet yarny thoughts?
I have no yarny thoughts. I'm relying on you all for everything, ma'am, because I have nothing.
What?
I have nothing. The only related crafty thought I can give is that I bought your brother for his birthday present because his birthday was this past Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And your sister and her partner drove down.
I saw that in the family chat. I didn't realize we were driving down.
Well, I guess it was a last minute thing they decided on. And so they went to the melting pot for your brother's birthday,
nice.
Which was nice. And your father and I was the one in charge of picking the birthday present. Usually I buy him one of those giant snack combination boxes, from Amazon, where it has like 30 bags of like Doritos and Cheez-Its and things like that in it, which he greatly appreciates that every year. But this year I got him that sketchbook, that pen and ink workbook by Alfonso Dunn, who is a YouTuber on here in case anybody cares. And I see you, Junie. I'm going to mention that in a second. And I bought him a amigurumi kit.
Oh, nice.
Not
you
one
bought
of
him an amigurumi
Woobles,
kit? Oh, okay.
Not one of the little Woobles things, because from the reviews I've seen they're kind of overrated. So I didn't know what kind of animal to get him because I didn't think he would want to do like a cute bunny or something like that. So I got a lizard that but it's flat, so you don't have to do any stuffing. It's a bookmark.
Oh, that's cute.
Let me see if I can pull it up. Can't get rid of my cough. And while I'm pulling that up, Junie
also mentioned
that she's making her first wearable top.
So, Junie, we also have a Discord channel for this podcast, video, whatever we do. We have a Discord. We have a Discord channel.
Podcast, ma'am. You know my feelings on that. We are not a
video podcast.
We are not a video podcast
for this. But anyway, we have a Discord. After this, you can go to probably one of our older videos, probably the most recent one, hopefully. But you can go to one of our older videos and click the link to join the Discord. And then we've got a section to post like whips and finished projects and all kinds of stuff, so you can show it off to people. Like Ronald posted his crochet along. Oh, that's what I was going to look at. I never finished looking at Ronald's crochet along. Oh. Ronald posted his crochet along in the Discord.
So this is what I got for Isaac.
Ooh, I like it.
The cute little bookmarky.
That is a cute bookmark.
It has the yarn in it to make both the green one and the pink one.
Okay. How much was the $12? Is that how much the whole kit was?
Yeah. It's got a crochet hook and the yarn and the instructions.
That's not bad at all.
So, yeah. So, hopefully he will enjoy that. And I told him, you know, if you don't enjoy that, we can find another pattern for something. And I have yarn here in the house. It's not like we don't have yarn.
Ronald, it is not ugly. The only thing that I don't like is I'm looking at Ronald's
1940s Russian peasant. Oh my goodness! Now I really have to look. Is it up on
not
Discord?
Ugly. It is on the Discord. It is not ugly. I like it. The only thing I don't like is I don't like small sleeves. I like big sleeves, which is the only thing that I don't like about it. I know that having
he made his sleeves smaller.
Yeah, I like the bigger sleeves that like. If every top that I wear could have just bell sleeves for days, that's what I would do. But I like it. And I like the colors too. It's giving Fruit Loops.
Let's see.
The colors look like a bowl of Fruit Loops. Oh, are you pulling it up?
Yeah, oh yeah. I pulled it up to look at it. I'm not putting it on screen because Ronald's not happy with it, but why are you making the face, Ronald? It's nice. And you did a good job. Minimizing the sleeves. It's a nice sweater.
It's a nice sweater.
It's a nice sweater. Is this a pullover? No, it's a cardigan. So is there buttons on that, or is that a zipper, or what are we doing here?
Ronald said we could put them on blast. So I'm about to pull it up.
Fruit Loop Russian peasant. You need to stop. Are you having trouble getting it up?
Pullover cardigan, no way.
Oh, so it's a pullover.
I got it.
So then it's not a cardigan, it's a pullover. Pullovers and cardigans. I'm sorry. I was just about to, I need to stop it. I was about to correct Ronald on his terminology, but that's rude, so I'm going to stop. But it's a pullover. Okay.
Whatcha? I think
and he's making that face like, I am not happy. You made me put this on.
Right? I think it looks good though.
I think it looks good too.
And Ronald also said, I don't like it, but people on Facebook think it's beautiful, because it is.
It is. You did a good job. And you finished it so quickly.
You did. It was so fast.
I mean, and I know you have other hobbies besides crochet, so I know you didn't just crochet all the time, but goodness, that's fast. So, did you already ask Junie what kind of top she's making?
I did not. What kind of top are you making, Junie? Tell the world.
Tell the world. And Maya, while Junie's telling us, did you start your crochet along?
I did not.
You have 2 months if you're making a dress. You might as well turn this into a skirt at this point.
I might turn it into like a top and a skirt. We'll see. But you don't have
time for a top and a skirt. If you're gonna make something, you need to get started quick.
I have other things to show. One, I made one of the things that was pretty popular at the at the Georgia market was I made little poppet mushrooms.
Mm-hmm. You've made those
like
before.
Little guys. Did I make these before? I don't think I made them this size before. I've made the big booty.
Yeah, I think you've made bigger ones before.
Yeah, this is the first time that I've made the little guys, and I was selling these for $5 because they take like 20 minutes to make. And these, everybody came and was picking up and playing with these. So I'm definitely gonna make some more of these. But
did you sell any?
I did. I sold like 4 or 5 of these.
Okay.
I didn't sell any keychains. And I didn't sell any of those butterfly hair clips that I worked so hard on.
Oh no! How much do you have this price at?
All of them are $5. Keychains, the hair clips, and these are $5. These are the ones that sold. I didn't sell any of the other stuff, which I'm very.
I know. I was watching another. I was watching several people do markets on videos this week, and one of the ladies was saying she found. I don't think she has even nearly as much market experience as you do, but one of the things she found is that she needs to keep a bunch of $5 stuff on her table.
I have a whole $5 section.
Yeah, that gives people stuff to pick. A halter top with a lace trim. Ooh.
I also have another thing that I have been working on. Let me make sure I'm not showing the world my bottom.
Please and thank you. I actually was going to teach myself to use the YouTube editing software so I could blur out you showing your butt to everybody last week, but I haven't gotten around to it. So I guess somebody's seeing your butt now. Oh, so cute. Did I realize that you had that torso form?
No, I just got it at Georgia. My friend.
I was going to say I did not remember you having that.
Yeah, my friend who is going to give it to me, they also came to the Georgia market, so they just brought it with them to Georgia so I could put stuff on it in Georgia.
What? So they just gave it to you, or they sold it to you, or?
They gave it to me. We basically did a trade because she had a top that she didn't like the way that it fit, and so I basically did some seam ripping and made a strap so that she could adjust it and tie it in a way that fits better. There's no way that I could verbally explain it without the shirt in my hand. But I did that, and
so you did some alterations for her, and she gave you that.
Yes, because I think she got it for free on Facebook Marketplace or something. But yeah, this is the top. So this is velvet.
Okay.
This is velvet yarn.
I tried because at first I was like, "Is that fabric?" And you just did the bottom part, but no, you crocheted the whole thing.
Yeah, I crocheted the whole thing. So this is velvet. I'm trying to figure out the best way to hold it. So this is velvet, and then this is that Red Heart Super Saver favorite stripe. And it's got a little detail right there. Yeah, it was Teresa, Judy. This is that Red Heart Super Saver favorite stripe. So this is actually a dupe of a top that I saw. I was on YouTube, and it's got a really long strap because I made it to fit me. So this can open up and fit my torso. But I tightened it all the way so it'll fit on my girl here. I got to figure out what I'm going to call her. But yeah, I'm going to tuck her back here. A dupe of a top that I saw on YouTube. I literally was on YouTube, and YouTube has been offering up a bunch of shorts of crochet stuff for me, and I saw one, and the girl sells the pattern, but I was like, I feel like I could probably make that without a pattern. I fully winged that. I made that no pattern. I fully winged it.
Whose child are you? We do not wing things in this house. We use patterns. We use patterns.
Not always. That's not one of the rules that I have written up. I'm gonna see if I can pull up the YouTube short real quick to show, because hers is very cute. I want to try to make it again with different yarn, but hers is very, very cute. Can I? Hello? Show me more of the shorts. There we go. Okay. Let me pull this up, and then
we do use patterns in this house, Ronald. I do not make anything without a pattern. The few times I've tried to make something without a pattern, it has been a disaster.
Okay, so we're pulling this up. The YouTube channel is Hopi Dope Official. And like, she has the pattern. So if you want to make the top, go like, and don't feel like winging it like I did, go get the pattern, because she sells a pattern. But I was like, I feel like I could probably do this, and I have bought too many patterns that I have not used, so let me just make it.
Black crocheters, we love it.
Yes.
Oh, I like hers with the rainbow on the bodice.
Yes.
Yeah, that's nice. That's pretty.
Yeah, she basically just has a few videos. I'm gonna mute this. I know y'all can hear it, but it was too loud in my ear. But yeah, she basically just has a few videos of her showing the tops like this. There's one where she shows the back, so I knew that it was lace up. But she just has a few videos showing the top like this, and I was like, I think I can make that. And I think I did a pretty decent recreation. It looks like she clearly uses some lighter yarn. I went with whatever yarn I had. Yeah. I wanted to do the whole thing of the velvet, but I didn't have enough velvet to do that. So I figured that the favorite stripe would look decent for that.
And it did. I think it's very nice.
I think I did it. And it looks so much better on the model. I'm so glad now that I have a bust, because this, when it's not on a body, looks like nothing. It
looks like a pile of yarn.
It looks so cute on a model. Exactly. And I put like aglets on the ends of the ties. So it's not so I wasn't like weaving in.
It looks more professional.
It does look more professional, but also I didn't have to weave in ends into a chain, which everyone knows is one of my least favorite things to do. But yeah, off of the model, it just looks like it just looks flat. Like, I can take it off real quick. That's part of why I really, really wanted to get a model, because that doesn't look nearly as
like
cute.
A skirt. That looks almost like
exactly. A skirt. That doesn't look nearly as cute as when it's on the model.
Yeah.
But yes, so that is what I did. That took me about a day.
Great job. Great job.
Thank you.
Great job. I worked on my excuse me. I worked on my
Take two.
I worked on my crochet along. Please be a cough drop in here. Yes, there's still a cough drop left. I took my other big bag of cough drops in the other room, and I was hoping there was still at least one cough drop left in here. I worked on my crochet along, but there's not enough to show that makes it look. Because I'm not quite at the sleeve yet. I'm like 4 more rows to go, and then I can go to the sleeve. Let's see. But let's see if I can hold it up properly. So I was concerned that the stripe was not going to hit at the right spot, but I think it hits exactly where I want it to hit.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. So
nice.
So I'm happy. Right now I'm on the part where, what am I doing?
What are you doing?
Yeah. So I'm not working. So this part, we're not working across this part. This is the bottom hem. Mm-hmm. So we're not working across this part anymore. So it won't get any longer. I'm just working on this part here to make it just a little bit more wider. So I've got like another inch to go here. And then it'll be time for me to come over here and work on the sleeve.
Okay.
So I don't really have anything to show, but
I mean, that was something though.
One of the days it was like just too hot to have that sitting on my lap.
Yeah.
Because it has gotten big enough that it covers my lap when I'm sitting here and working on it. You can imagine this laying across your lap and going, no, it's 90 degrees outside. I think not.
Y'all have the AC on?
We do have AC, but as your Aunt Terry likes to remind me this time of year, because she used to work for an AC company, once you get up around 90 degrees, there's not a whole lot you can do. And so it's like the, how can I say this? Like not changing, like if you turn your air on, I have my air set at like 75. And in the morning, that feels almost chilly. But I do not change it, because once you get to this time in the afternoon and it is 95 degrees outside, all of a sudden the heat starts seeping in through that air, and it does that. It felt chilly in the morning. It doesn't feel chilly anymore. It's still almost. I mean, it makes it turning. I would not turn it off, because at least the air makes it bearable. But whereas downstairs, the minute I walk downstairs, the sweat is rolling off my face. Not just beating up on my face, but rolling off my face.
Yeah, our house is like chilly. Like I have a blanket on my lap right now. What temperature is it over here? Oh, it's only 67 degrees over here. Sorry. So sorry. We're in the mountains. We're in the mountains. I'm so sorry.
It's already.
We're moving in with me instead of Chloe, so you could be over here at 67 degrees.
It is already 83 degrees, 54% humidity, and it's only 11:35. Once we get to the really hot weather, because it's supposed to get up. It's supposed to be a high of like 93 or something today.
Yeah, so, the only time I hit those like 90-degree weather points is when I go out to other markets. So like when I go to Fade Hector and stuff like that, that's when I hit the 90-degree weather. But usually it got up to like 92, I want to say, here a couple days ago. But that's about it.
So yeah, I did get a chance to.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna move along the line.
I was just double checking. I was just checking the weather. The high is 91, but it's going. Well, right now it says it's 83, but it feels like 93. Well, you didn't have to tell me that, duh. I can feel that for myself.
Oh,
Judy has no AC, ma'am.
Judy.
Hiding in the basement. I can see why.
Gotta get some AC. Oh no!
All the fans on high. Yeah, we say AC, but in our house, it's we've got units, because our central heating has not. I mean, our central air has not worked. I think it's nigh on 15 years at this point. It went out during a big heat wave 15 some years ago. It was like the first year right after I had stopped working for the county, and because I remember filling the bathtub with cold water and sitting in the bathtub. And it felt like I was in a swimming pool. It didn't even feel like cold water. It felt like I was in a swimming pool. I was like, why have I not done this before? This is glorious. Because the AC stopped working in the middle of the heat wave, and they said $4,000 to, no, I think they said $2,000 to fix it. And then every year we check, it has gone up. I think the last time we checked, it was like $4,000 to fix it. And it's like,
why would it go up? It's not getting more broken.
Who knows? But and I've briefly thought, since every year or every other year we have to replace one of these units in here that we're using, that we cobble together to keep the house tolerable. That we probably could have just saved up the money. But I mean, this is over the space of 15 years.
Yeah.
That we buy a unit.
So that would be several years of
we don't have $4,000 all at once to replace the air. You know, so we just keep cobbling together our little units. And somebody at one point said, well, you know, you're spending more on electricity doing these units than you are. And no, we're not. No. Our electricity is the same as when we were doing central air. So
whatever works.
Yep. But that means there's certain parts of the house that, like going downstairs, because this year the unit that we bought for the downstairs is not as much wattage, BTUs, whatever you call it, to the last one we had in that back window would cool the whole downstairs. This one, it kind of cools part of the dining room area, but it's not really cooling the whole downstairs. So when I come downstairs, my face immediately starts hot.
Yeah.
So we probably need to get a new unit. Your father said he was going to, because he bought it, he could immediately see it wasn't cooling off, and he said, I'm going to go get a different unit. But we've been using it every day, so I doubt he's going to take that unit back now. So.
Yeah, we pay $1,700 a month to have a working AC. So we have working AC. It's cold. My toes are cold right now.
Okay, so we are at 11:39. We have talked about all of our yarny crafty stuff. I still haven't been coloring. I've been thinking about drawing. But other than that, the only thing on my mind is finishing this crochet along, because I want to get to some of my blankets.
But I had some other stuff in the list.
Oh, you do have some other stuff.
Mention briefly. So the made a dupe without a pattern, that's what this was. So this is the dupe for that thing that I showed earlier. And then also, everybody's making the Taylor Swift dress.
Oh yes, I don't know why
everybody and their brother.
Think to mention that everybody is making the Taylor Swift dress.
Everybody and their brother is making the Taylor Swift dress.
I don't really think of myself as a Swiftie, but ever since I watched the Eras Tour thing, we discussed this before, but you know, Aunt Terry and I sat and we watched the Eras Tour thing just because it was a girls' night thing to do, and we both like Taylor Swift reasonably enough, and I felt like it's something that they're talking about so much that I would feel like I would, you know, I had a bit of FOMO. I feel like it's one of those things like I never went to see Flashdance or Back to the Future or any of those movies when they came out. And I thought, yeah, it's just a movie. It's not my type of thing. It's a blip. And then these are movies that are like cult classics that people are talking about for years and celebrating the 25th anniversary of. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I missed the boat on that one. Still not interested to go back and watch the movies, but I realized I missed the boat on that one. I felt like the Eras Tour was something that people are going to be talking about in years to come.
Yeah.
And I will feel like I missed the boat. And since I do like Taylor Swift, I figured this was something easy for me to jump on. Well, now everything is getting served to me about Taylor Swift.
How do I?
So I started seeing this on Saturday in my YouTube algorithm. Junie says I apparently live under a rock. I didn't see the original picture because I don't I only follow Taylor Swift on TikTok, and she doesn't post on TikTok that much. I don't go on Instagram. Sorry, Instagram people. But I don't go on Instagram. So I definitely don't follow her on Instagram. But apparently she posted a picture of herself on Instagram going places with that dress on. And that dress is $100.
It is just a granny square dress.
Yep. The original dress was $118, which somebody said, okay, if it's real crochet, then that price is too low.
Yeah, that makes, yeah. And if it's not real crochet,
if it's not real,
then that price
if it's not real crochet, fine. Well, I mean, if it's not real crochet and it was made by a machine, then, you know, the price is what it is.
It looks like real crochet, though. Even just looking at it from here, it looks like real crochet.
Well, one of the videos I watched, the woman in the video got a close-up on the fabric, and she said herself, I have trouble telling the difference between real crochet and something faked to try to make it look like crochet. And I'm like, ma'am, you must have been crocheting for 5 minutes then, because I looked at that close up and I said, those are double crochet clusters right there. They look just like, honestly, if you get a close up of that, they look just like the fabric that I'm making right now. They look just like that. So if you are a crocheter, how you could not tell that was crochet? And if it turns out it's not crochet and it was made by a machine, it was like knitting made to look like crochet. But I've seen some of these things made by a machine that are supposedly faking crochet, and when you look at them close, they don't look like double crochet at all.
Yeah.
This close up on this looks like double crochet. So yeah, I watched a couple videos, but I was like, yeah, these people are winging it, and you know, I don't wing it in this house.
But it's also like the simplest, like, we look at this one right here. It is, you make 2 like granny square panels, make 2 granny square panels, hold it over yourself and figure out where you need to sew the shoulders. So you sew that, because that's not a what is it called? A raglan or whatever. Like these are 2 panels.
That's drop. That looks like drop shoulder. Yeah.
Yes. And then you just make a strip and hold it, like wrap it around your arm until it's the size that you need, and sew it together. Like, it is not. If I thought that dress was not ugly, I would make it. I don't like the dress. Like, I love granny square. I don't. It might just be the colors, because I know that it's going for like a 70s kind of vibe.
The colors are definitely not my thing. The dress does not look like, I mean, I know it's supposed to be kind of loose or whatever, but the dress, depending on how some people wear it, the dress looks almost sloppy. Even on Taylor Swift, the dress looks almost sloppy. And it's frustrating to me. The company that sells the dress also sells it in like a black, white, and gray color scheme.
I feel like the black, white, and gray would probably be better.
Oh, that one's prettier, but it's not the same colors as the Taylor Swift, so you know everybody wants to go for the Taylor Swift colors.
I think the thing that frustrates me the most about it is that it is like the most plain Jane dress. And so I like, if it was on my table or if I was selling it at a market, I feel like people wouldn't believe, even if I priced it at the price that they priced it, like $15, even if I priced it $115, people would be thinking that that's too much for how plain that dress is.
Yeah.
But Taylor wore it, and now, like, oh my goodness, it's like the thing. And so I'm like, because like the top that I made over here, I specifically wanted to make this one because it looks like I did a lot when I really didn't have to, but it looks like I did a lot.
Yeah.
To make it so that I could justify the price for it. But this would take like no time. I mean, it would take some time. You're just basically just making a body blanket. Like,
yeah. But I get what you're saying. I agree with you, Junie. It has no shape.
It has I don't like boxy dresses.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I do like something boxy. It just depends. But that's just like short and boxy, and the sleeves look like they're too long. It's just, it just doesn't look like it fits.
These sleeves look too long. If you look at the ones on Taylor, oh my goodness, can we please get a picture that's like not itty bitty? Like her sleeves don't look quite too long, I don't think. Maybe. I don't know. Because there's only like all of 2 pictures in the world of her wearing this dress.
Yeah. Exactly.
But it's also like a weird length.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's the Taylor
Swift
dress.
Mini dress length or something, but like, yeah. No.
We just had to talk
wizard
about
sleeves. Yes, Ronald. Wizard sleeves.
The better to hide my wand in. So the Taylor Swift dress. The only other thing was, remember the emotional support chicken?
Yes.
There's a crochet pattern for it now. And it looks pretty cute.
Is.
Yeah. Let me.
I don't think that's no-so though.
Oh, it's definitely not. It is definitely not.
Because I looked at the knit version and I didn't even look at the pattern. I just looked at the finished object and I was like, oh, that is like several kind of strips or whatever pieced together.
Yes.
On there.
Exactly.
To have different textures on the chicken.
Let me share this. Do. Here we go.
Oh,
yeah, this is definitely like, this is a piece and that's a piece and this is a piece.
Yeah, the one I saw, the color difference was not quite as stark, not quite as contrasting.
Everybody's using scrap.
Yeah.
This person is actually the reason that I found this one, because her video came up in YouTube for me of they were making the emotional support chicken and I was like, is that crochet? And then it came up and it was crochet and I was like, they have a crochet pattern out now. But yeah, a lot of people everybody's just using their scrap yarn. But I think the scrap yarn is what makes it look like cute and quirky. I like it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I like the fact that it's scrappy and has all the different colors and stuff. I definitely like that. It's just the knit one that I always see when emotional support chicken comes up is one that's like all these muted colors and they're all almost the same color. So it almost looks like it's just different textures, not really different colors.
Ronald says, okay, does this bother anyone
annoying.
else? I posted on my Facebook pullover saying it's my latest crochet project. One of the comments says, it looks well knitted. Oh.
Yeah, obviously somebody who doesn't stitch.
Oh.
I know there are people who get more annoyed than I do by that. It's because I'm just like, well, it's clear that you do not stitch at all, so.
My problem is I feel like I need to teach the masses. And so I have to fight the urge to like, oh, well, actually it's crochet. I got room service.
Because to me, it's like me going up to somebody, who just pulled up.
Continue. Sorry.
That's true. You did say it was crochet. So that's just them ignoring what you wrote, which is a little bit weird. But most of the time when people get it wrong, I don't get upset because I think of it like me walking to somebody who just pulled up in a BMW going, oh yeah, I like that Mercedes you got. I don't know cars. I don't drive. So if I get it wrong, I get it wrong. But no, I get more annoyed when somebody like on a TV show or something, they purport to be like, oh, well, we're going to go to the knitting circle today, and they clearly have crochet hooks in their hand. Or
that's somebody, you should have had somebody do a quality control research.
Exactly.
Somebody has to know.
Somebody can do research and tell you that you got that wrong.
Because like knitting and crochet are like, I feel like both of them are well known enough that everybody knows that the two things exist. So if you're going to put one of them in your show, literally just ask anyone, like, is this how knitting works? Just show me how to hold my hands. That's all you need.
Because if you do a movie, for instance, if you do a movie where the actor is supposed to be a piano player and they've never played piano in their life, you get a consultant.
You get a hand double
to make you either a hand. Well, a lot of times now they want to make it look like they didn't use a hand double, so they teach the actors how to hold their hands to look like they are playing, but they're not actually playing. The music that you actually hear in the movie is not what you're going to hear, but they at least teach them how to hold their hands, so you can do that with knitting and crochet.
Oh my goodness.
I did watch that, Ronald.
I did too. I literally, after watching that, I was like, that's such a good idea. And I put that at the end of our list. I was going to just go to Reddit and look up some knitting or crochet stories if we had some time. Which it doesn't look like we do now. It's 11:53.
But is it already 11:53? Oh,
it
yeah,
is already 11:53.
But yeah, I did watch the one with the crochet Reddit stories. The guy clearly, there are people in this world who they don't have hobbies and they don't understand other people having hobbies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They don't get why you would spend time sitting and reading a book, or why you would spend time coloring, or why you would spend time playing video games, or they don't understand having a hobby at all.
Or their hobby is like being around other people and talking to other people.
Yeah.
And so when the person is not talking to them, it's like, why are we not?
Or the only thing that they consider, like their whole life is, I don't know, Ronald, what do they do with themselves? Their whole life is going to work, coming home, settle down in front of the TV for a little while, which I'm a TV person too, so I'm not berating anybody who watches TV, but at the same time, don't berate me if I want to do something while I'm watching TV, like color or crochet or whatever. Or sometimes I take a break from TV and listen to an audiobook or read a book. There are I can fit all these things in my life. Okay. That's why I don't, because the other thing that I don't understand is when people say they are bored. It's like there are so many hobbies you can find that you do not need to be bored. So I see you put no that I should not make a belt instead of a jacket for the cruise.
It's too late. You're already making the jacket.
Well, since we have a few minutes, I'm going to run through my few little things that I've got here, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Briefly, I think I mentioned this to you. I know I mentioned it to Isaac. I just realized that I graduated from high school 40 years ago. 40.
And how does that make you feel?
In my brain, it was still like 20. And I just watched a video where they were showing, those videos on YouTube, it's like, show kids what it was like back in the old days or whatever. And it's like, we're going to show you what it's like to be a teen in 1984. That was 40 years ago. And I'm like, what?
Nani?
40 years ago? What? I just can't. Okay. Also, I want to find a simple makeup tutorial for someone my age who only wears makeup about 3 times a year. Okay. I just want something for the few times that I want to go out and put on makeup. I do not
Mm-hmm.
want one of these tutorials where A, the girlies are all in their 20s. B, it's all this new stuff that the girls are doing with contouring, drawing 15 million lines on your face and beating it into your face with a sponge.
So we're gonna pause for just a minute.
Bronzers and all that.
We're gonna pause for just a minute. We're gonna cycle back to, I can't believe I graduated high school 40 years ago, and fast forward just 2 minutes to, I don't know what they're doing all this new stuff with the makeup.
I didn't say it that way. I know what they're doing. I don't want to do it.
You did specifically say, I don't want all of this new stuff that they're doing. That is exactly
that's what I said. I don't want any of the
all of the new makeup.
I don't want all that stuff. I still seem so young. Lies, Ronald. Lies. You should not lie to a lady. But yeah, I want, because like when we go on the cruise and we get ready to take pictures, you know, I don't want to wear makeup in daily life. I have no makeup on right now for reference. I have I don't even have lipstick on. I don't even have any moisturizer on because I just rolled out of bed this morning. The only moisturizer I have is the sweat of menopause. This is just my plain Jane everyday face, and I am happy with my plain Jane everyday face. Take the glasses off so you can see the plain Jane everyday face. This is me. I know I got some dark shadows under my eyes a little bit, but I don't care because I wear glasses from the moment I roll out of bed, so that somewhat camouflages the dark circles. But I do want to put on makeup when I get dressed up. I would like to have that extra little touch of, you know, smoothing my skin out a little bit, put some lipstick on, you know. And so when I try to do the things that I remember from when I wore makeup back in the 80s, it doesn't look the same to me. And a lot of the products now are different. And I want to do something simple, but I don't want to do all this contouring and lines and
you need
15 layers of makeup that they're putting on their face. Maybe I can't get that nice smooth look without the 15 layers of makeup on my face. Maybe that's it.
I mean, I think you can. I'm trying to think of, because I don't do contouring. I don't, like, when I put on makeup, my makeup is more like face paint most of the time, because that's how I like to look a lot of the time, is like decorated. But like, I don't do foundation. A lot of times I don't do concealer. Like, I will throw on like a moisturizer or something real quick to make sure I'm all like good in all my places or whatever. But other than that, like, then I'll put on like lipstick, eyeliner, eyeshadow, blush. Like, I like the decorative parts of makeup. So I don't do contouring either. And I feel like there's a specific style of look that you're looking for that doesn't do the contouring. I just can't think of the name of it, because all of the like styles, there's like the no makeup look, and the like fresh face, and like dewy, and like there's the different words for it. I just can't think of the
dewy looks to me like you have grease on your face. I've seen so many people do that dewy thing, and I think maybe if you do it just right, it looks a little sparkly, but most of the girls I've seen do it look like they have grease on their face.
You're just shiny, and I don't understand being
shiny. They look like they're either sweaty or greasy. I don't like it.
Yeah, that is not my vibe. I think that is one of the things that's like a pullover from like Korean skincare, because I think the Korean makeup does dewy a lot, and I'm like, if that works for y'all. But yeah.
So I just wanted, because like I have all these makeup products that I bought either before the last cruise in 23 or maybe the cruise in 22, and I still haven't really used them because I haven't really figured out how to put them all together.
It sounds like you need a couple days of sitting and practicing.
Yeah, I do. And I keep saying that that's what I'm going to do, but right now, every time I put stuff on my face, I start to sweat, and then it starts to roll off my face. So, maybe
that's
I need
one
to
thing
have...
that I'm really glad about is that my face doesn't sweat that much, because I like, especially when I go to markets and stuff, I'll put on the face paint, and I ask other people like, oh, do you want face paint, blah blah blah, and they're like, oh no, it'll be rolling down my face, and I like go and check the mirror, and I'm like, no, I'm good. Good. My sweat is like everywhere else.
I didn't used to sweat on my face either until this glorious thing called menopause. And now I sweat on my face all the time. It is quite annoying. So I'm scared that I'm going to practice with the makeup and then it's going to be a waste of time because it's just going to roll right off my face. But I did buy all that stuff because I was going through my drawer the other day and realized, oh yeah, I still have all this stuff here that's barely used. So I need to practice with it so I can get some use, so that
practice in the evening when it's cool.
So that when we come to the cruise, I can at least know how to quickly put it on and be ready for when we take pictures. Because that's all I really want it for, is when we take pictures.
Just for the pictures, yeah.
On day-to-day life, I don't care if you see me with no makeup on at all. But for the pictures, I'd like to, just dress it up a little bit. Because that's what I think of makeup as. I think of it as like an accessory, like jewelry or something like that. I don't think of it as something I have to, I can't leave the house without my face on kind of thing. I think of it as, this is an accessory, like a ring or a hat that I'm adding to this outfit to make it look nice.
Exactly.
And so that's the only reason I want to do it.
Well, it's about that time.
I'm gonna
put on our We're Leaving rock music. But just before we do our closeout, people, I forgot something in the life updates. The other day, I was at work and I did what I normally do, which is go next door and get some Twix. Normally I get the cookies and cream or cookie dough Twix because that is my favorite one, cookie dough Twix. But they had some salted caramel Twix and I was like, you know what? I haven't had salted caramel Twix in a while. And so I got a salted caramel Twix and I went to eat it and the caramel got wrapped around my tongue ring and I'm like, oh, this is kind of unpleasant. But oh well, it happens because it does happen. That's just the efforts of having a tongue ring. And I'm chewing and chewing. All of a sudden I feel something hard and I'm like, something is amiss. Something has gone wrong. Something is amiss.
Oh no.
And so I, manipulate my mouth. What happened was I normally wear a plastic tongue ring because it doesn't put as much pressure on my gums underneath because it will bend. It will bend and flex. So it doesn't put as much pressure on my mouth. What happened was the plastic tongue ring that I've been wearing for at this point, like months, the force of the caramel has snapped my plastic tongue ring in half. Yes, and I'm at work. My tongue ring has snapped in half. And I'm trying to figure out what to do. I can't, there's nothing I can do to put it back in my mouth because where it snapped, it is splayed out. So it will not go back into my tongue hole. And I am full on panicking, because I'm in the middle of training somebody and I'm trying to help a customer or whatever, but I'm full on panicking because I know that I have hours. I have mere hours before my tongue will close up. Because mouth piercings close so fast. So if I wait until I get home, if I wait until it's time for me to get off work and go home, it will be closed up. And I am not going to get it pierced again. I'm not, it hurt. It is between my tongue and between all the piercings that I had, my tongue and my lips are one of the most painful ones that I've had. And this is my second time having both of them. I'm not doing it a third. And so I'm panicking, trying to figure out, and I'm like, I think I have some spare tongue rings in the car. I run to the car, open the glove compartment, there's nothing in there. I check my purse, all I have in there is septum rings, and it's not blah, blah, blah. And I check. And so what I end up having to do is I had to go into my purse, because I had my septum rings, but I also had the rings that I have for my lip rings. I had to go and get the biggest clicker ring that I could find for my lip rings, the biggest one, and slide it through my tongue hole, and click it closed, and I was speaking with a lisp for the rest of my workday until I could get home and find my spare tongue rings. And now I have a metal bar in my mouth until I can get some more plastic ones. It was a disaster.
Why not just let it close up and be done with it?
Because I don't want to. It was a disaster. I was like so afraid. There was even like a lady who came in and I'm like, I'm so sorry. My tongue ring just broke in my mouth. And so I'm trying to find like a new one. And I'm just kind of stressed because I don't want it to close. And so that lady like did her thing, left, and then came back because she got the wrong place. And she's like, so did you figure out the tongue situation? And I was like, yeah, I had to replace it with a ring. And I like showed her. And she's like, so why the tongue thing? And I'm like, I just think it looks nice. And she's like, well, you don't really see it. And I'm like, well, when I have the proper jewelry in, I do a lot of like talking and big gesturing, and I just have a big mouth in general. So you see it when I'm talking, or I have like a big cackle laugh, because that's just how I laugh, and you see it. And so it's a cute little decoration. And she's like, okay, you kids and your body modifications. And I'm like, yep.
Exactly. You kids and your body modifications. You don't live here, so I don't have to see it.
But yes, that was my day the other day. I was so
Ronald,
stressed. I was so stressed.
Ronald,
I was
I just saw that.
I was gonna ignore it. I was gonna look right over it.
Ronald.
Shame.
Now you made me think about that, Ronald.
Shame.
I have to go wash my brain with bleach now. Ronald.
Shame.
You do realize she's my daughter, right? I don't need to know these things, Ronald.
So, this has been the Wednesday Coffee Klatsch. If you want to know what Ronald's talking about, go back and watch this later. You can look at the live chat if you're on Instagram or whatever, because I don't think Instagram got kicked out. So, you can go check the live chat on YouTube. I've been Artemis. This has been Dani. If you like what we're doing, give it a thumbs up. Press the like button. If you want to like YouTube to remind you of all of our things, press subscribe. If you want to be notified. What was that? If you want to be notified. If you want to be notified when we're going live, hit the notification bell, and it'll give you a little notification on your phone and your computer and whatever device you're on that we are going live, so you can join in and chat with everybody in the chat. If you made it this far and want to leave some comments in the thing, tell us what you think of the Taylor Swift dress. Do you like it? Would you wear it? Do you think you would like it in different colors? Tell us how you feel. Or just leave a dancing girl in the red dress emoji for the Taylor Swift dress.
Yes.
We will be here on Friday. We will not be here on Friday because I'm doing something. I just said that earlier. We will not be here this Friday. Well, I don't know. I won't.
No. If you're not going to be here, then I'm not going to be here either, because I need to work, and I was trying to think of a way around it to do this and work too. But if you're not going to be here, then playing around can take a rest on Friday, and we'll be back here next Wednesday. Especially since I'm off. Since I'm off tomorrow for 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
You know, unless I get a wild hair to be here on Friday.
And if she does, if you press the notification bell, you'll know.
But as of right now, I don't think we're going to be here. So y'all enjoy, if you're in the U.S., enjoy your 4th of July weekend.
Shoot some fireworks for us.
See ya. Have a hot dog for me.
Bye. Ending the stream.